Okay, so we've got this scratch right here. It's something got dragged, probably like a chipboard box, a brown cardboard box on the hood of this black BMW. So you can see these are pretty deep scratches. What we'll do is we'll spot clean this area and see what happens. We'll take the mint colored towel and the awesome blue. It's just a mild cleaner. This way you don't have to wash the whole car. All we're doing here is just removing the surface dust and grit. Just don't want to rub that grit into your repair. So the first step is always, before we, I can tell that this is probably going to need the SafeTsand accessory, but you always want to try with your least aggressive formula first, which would be the Totally Bitchin' Scratch Remover Polish. And just hit this area real quick and just see how much of this comes out before you go to the next step or to the optional step of the SafeTsand. So we'll just take a small amount, about a quarter size amount. We'll just work it back and forth here. And we'll just confine our efforts just to the fender area and not the hood right now. So go out a little bit bigger than the actual scratch itself. Now the Totally Bitchin' Scratch Remover is a diminishing style formula. That means that it starts out at one grit and actually breaks down into finer and finer grits until it actually just dissipates. So that removes some, but we still have these deeper scratches here, so we're going to go after these with the SafeTsand accessory. Now since we applied polish here, we want to make sure that this area is completely clean of any dust from the polish itself. So we'll just hit this with the awesome blue again, just to pull up any of that polishing dust, residual polishing dust. Make sure it's absolutely nice and clean. Alright, so we're going to use the SafeTsand accessory. This is a 3000 grit latex paper, and this is how you apply it. You kind of apply it like a Band-Aid. Put the edge on there just like that. And there you go. Now what we want to do is we're going to wet sand this area. So we'll put some of the Purple Glide lubricant on there and also on our SafeTsand. And we'll use this for, you pretty much want to do this in small concentrated areas and count to 5 seconds basically in each area. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. And what you're going to get is a perfectly burnished area just like this. And we're going to do this one more time. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005. Okay, so we've used the SafeTsand and we've burnished this area right here. We're going to use the blue microfiber towel, pick a nice clean spot. Totally Bitchin' Scratch Remover polish is actually a little bit thick. It's very concentrated, and we'll put a small amount on there for starters on this. And what you want to do is, Totally Bitchin' Scratch Remover, like I said, is a diminishing style polish. So it starts out at one grit and then slowly breaks down into nothing. And that's why it'll leave you with a really nice shine compared to old-fashioned rubbing compounds and polishes, which are a straight grit type of product. So that's looking pretty good. Usually when you use a safety sand like that, you may need to do 2 applications. It just depends. On darker colors, it's more pronounced. So, gosh, it's almost there. We'll do 1 more. And with the Totally Bitch and Scratch Remover, it's better to work in small areas. This is a nice size area to work by hand. You don't want to get too big. The reason being, since it's a diminishing style formula and it breaks down, you want to hit the entire scratch area uniformly. If you don't, you can get inconsistent results. Now, if you have any polish residue, you can take the Purple Glide and the mint colored towel. You can just wipe it off. So now that looks really good. We totally got that. So the next step is evening glass glaze. Now this is a super fine polish. It more enhances, it gets rid of the super fine micro scratches that are left by the polish itself. And you don't need a whole lot of pressure with the evening glass glaze. It'll really make the paint really look nice. And really bring the depth and the clarity of the paint out. And of course I got it in there in between the cracks in the hood. If you wanted to stop that from happening, you could actually tape that off. That's a trick for when you're using a polishing machine. Okay, so now we've got this. This scratch area is totally repaired. That really bad scratch is completely gone. And last, we're going to seal this up. That is a professional way to handle things like this, and I always use a sealant. And in your kit, you have something called Sacred Shine Sealant, and it's a super high quality sealant. And so you would put this, it takes very little. And you just use overlapping motions. This is such a small area. Now we're going to let this haze just for a couple minutes so that it cures. And what you can do to test sealant to make sure it's cured is just take your finger and swipe it. If it comes off really clean, it's ready to polish, and that is all there is to it. It takes very, very little effort to buff a sealant. And there it is, it's done.